That's my intro.
Is it working?
It is working.
I can't tell on this end. Like, I just have to trust you that you know what's going
no,
on.
you can go on the site and watch it.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll do that
it's
next
a
time.
free country, and you're just allowed to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
They let anybody go on YouTube these days.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that really serves our purpose because we want people to watch this.
Well,
I mean, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, my phone just told me 5D Bias Bros is live.
Yeah.
Check that out.
sorry for
What a
anybody watching
country.
it live. I'm just doing some resizing, just making things as pretty as I can, because this is not a professional operation. In fact, some of us are drinking on the job.
If I had something to drink, I would drink it, but I don't.
Ooh, that's really good too.
I'll drink this candle wax over here. Is that okay?
Nope.
No.
Not.
Ladies and gentlemen, kids, don't drink candle wax.
Yep. It's not
A public service announcement from your friends Ad Bias Bros.
Hey, this is really bad too, but I forgot I gotta take So, intro the show really quick while I go grab medication I have to take. This is just timed very poorly.
Okay, I'll just be here. Well, hi everybody. Thanks for joining us on Bias Bros. Devin is going to take medications for a yet as determined unknown condition. Hope he's okay. But we are going to. Oh, he's coming back. Wait for it. Wait for it. You remember that scene in Scanners when that guy's head exploded?
You know, it's what I've still never seen that movie, and yet the show I was watching recently references that movie several times. But at this point, that's one of those movies where I've never seen it, and yet I understand the reference.
Totally.
I get what we're talking about. We're good.
Absolutely. And the story behind how they got that head explodey effect is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know about this?
I've heard the story, but tell the story.
So long story short, they had tried a million ways to get this head exploding effect, and nothing was working. Nothing was working. Everybody's getting annoyed and irritated and, stressed out that they can't get this effect to work. And finally, the director said, okay, you know what? Everybody leave. I got this. So they took one of the remaining dummies, filled the skull with meat, literal meat, and he sat behind off camera, like aiming up with a shotgun. And they yelled, action, and he pulled the trigger and the thing's head exploded, and that's how they got the shot.
Literally.
Thank you very much, folks. We'll be, we quit. We clearly have no business doing this. So we are going to start out with a Barry Judd list. And the reason we've been on, well, Devin more so. Devin's been on a horror kick, which is great. But Devin's been on a horror kick because of the other project that he's working on. So we're kind of following suit on this show just because that's what's in his head lately. So we are going to do our Barry Judd list this week is top 5, not necessarily TV shows, but franchises that could use a horrorized reboot. Did I explain that well? Is that?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
There we go.
We all good?
I have a very large picture of Jack Black as Barry Judd pulled up. There we go. Yeah.
So can we use his image? Is that okay?
Probably for a few seconds.
Okay, fair enough.
We're talking about it, right? It's a thing.
Sure.
Who's going first this week?
I'll go first because I bet your list is probably stronger than mine.
All right.
Anyway, my criteria for this particular list was not really. I mean, I think a couple of these really could work, and I would like to see a horror version of these shows. But really, I was just kind of thinking, like, what is the goofiest thing that we could turn into a horror movie, or that could be like? There's no business, there's no reason, there's no need to make this a horror franchise. But if we did, it could work. And coincidentally, they're all cartoons. So the first one, this one kind of already is horror-esque. It's a kid's show, and it's funny. It wasn't
we might have the same one on our list.
Oh, well, we'll find out. It's not a horror show, but it would work really well if it was. All Real Monsters.
Ah, okay, not the same one on our list, but go
Ah.
on.
I think, I mean, first of all, it's about monsters growing up, living in the dump or the sewer or whatever it was, learning how to be monsters.
Yeah.
But it was, campy and goofy and kids and funny and whatever else. But I think it could work as like a live action scary thing.
Yeah. Why are all these images so bad?
And I don't know if it would be better to make it more like from the point of view of like whoever they're terrorizing, or keep it on the point of view of the monsters themselves. I don't know what would work better, you know what I mean?
I mean, hey, modern shows, you gotta have your A story and your B story, right? So
Yeah. Or maybe that's true.
I'm still
That's
trying to
true.
find a halfway decent All Real Monsters image, and it's just not happening for me.
It's okay. I mean, I think anybody who listens to our show probably knows what All Real Monsters is.
Yeah. Okay. I got a good enough picture up. There you go.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Honestly,
I think I could get it. So do you do like? Are you going for like adult animated, or are you going practical?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think for something like that, probably adult animated.
Yeah.
But if you could get away with practical, well, and that depends. Like, are we talking about like a series, like an episodical horror reimagining, or are we talking about like a standalone movie?
I personally, I feel like for all of mine, they all work better as series.
Okay. For All Real Monsters, yeah. But you know what? Mandalorian is getting away with some practical effects pretty well, and they have a nice little blend of both. Yep. Yeah, I think this day and age, you could probably do that using practical effects. Okay. Like have some primary animatronics or what have you, or puppets or whatever it is. But even still, I think the effects these days, you could probably do it just as well doing CGI.
Okay.
And this is a terrible thing for me to say.
Yeah.
But because I'm all for practical effects wherever possible. But if the entire show is stylized around it, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I can buy it.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, next up.
Next up on the list, Invader Zim.
Okay, vaguely kind of horror-ish anyways.
It is. It kind of like, Jonan Vasquez, the creator, always kind of shines the light on the gritty, disgusting, horrible truth of humanity.
The gross, yeah.
The gross, like he loves the gross, and not just like the filthy and dirty physically, but the filthy and dirty of the soul and of the, the sentient persuasion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was really sarcastic and goofy and silly, but it did have a lot of very, disgusting, horrible horror aspects to it. But doing a straight, like an Invader Zim drama, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I could weirdly see it. I don't know that you could go full CW with it, but
no,
you could do a matured version, though it's very weird. Like, you have to almost go like full Mighty Boosh-esque weird.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think you'd have to. I think it'd be fun if you did, but I don't think you'd have to. I think Invader Zim could be done in a straightforward horror way. I mean, the whole show is about an alien trying to take over the world.
Dib, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be more from the point of view of Dib. And I would love to see what would happen with like Gur, because he couldn't be like, he would still need to be broken, but instead of like randomly becoming goofy and silly and whatever else, like he would randomly just go into human eradication mode.
Or he'd just get really sad.
Or that too. Oh, he's just Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
But it's not fun and endearing. It's just depressing. It just has like legit existential crisis and cries a lot.
Yeah. What do you think? Invader Zim?
Yeah, I'd watch it.
You'd watch it? All right,
I'd give it an episode.
Okay. Ren and Stimpy.
Okay, I feel like you're really pulling from a particular pool on this one.
I am. Well, this is my childhood, man. I went back to the well.
I guess.
There's one that's not necessarily from my childhood. But
Okay.
Ren and Stimpy.
We'll get one.
Ren and Stimpy. The plot doesn't work for a horror movie.
No.
Or a horror friend, like at all. It's about a cat and a dog and their random misadventures. But everything that happens around them is so grotesque. Like the space madness episodes.
It's Cronenberg horror.
It's very
gross people out.
Ren and Stimpy was very body horror cartoon.
Okay.
Or what? It's not body horror. Is it body comedy?
It is. It's considered the gross out era.
Yeah, it is. And I like it. I'm gonna flat out say, like, this is probably the worst one on my list. It doesn't work, but I want to see it work. I want to make it work. Like, if it could be done, I would want to see Ren and Stimpy as a horror franchise.
I feel like it's just salad fingers.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Like, it wouldn't be flat out horror. It would be uncomfortable.
Yeah, it would just make you really grossed out and uncomfortable.
Yes, in that case, I take it back. This works. This is absolutely. It belongs on this list. Did you say rubbish?
Rubbish.
Not rubbish.
Rubbish. All right, what else you got? Give me a stronger pull now.
Captain Planet.
Jesus Christ. Gee, what's on a list right in front of me right now? And how can I turn this into a list for the show that I run?
No, like...
Perhaps I could just state the list that's in front of me right now in some sort of order that makes it seem random.
What?
Go on.
I want to see horror Captain Planet. No, like it always kind of, like, not so much the Planeteers, but and I use that term unironically, and it doesn't feel right as an adult. But but the villains always kind of seemed like something out of Toxic Avenger.
Sure, a little,
for obvious reasons.
Blight
but
and
they were always gross and grotesque, and I think, like, you could turn this into like a legitimate actually, I think you probably could turn this into like a CW type of a drama.
You know what this is when it becomes live action, right? It's the
What?
Guyver movie.
Oh my god, it is. Oh my god, it is.
It's just the Guyver.
Yeah, it totally is. And I'm all for it. The Guyver worked.
Like, hyper gritty, dark Captain Planet, where it's like these kids and they summon this benevolent hero. He's like the only thing in Technicolor in this gross mutant.
No, he's not Technicolor. Forget the Technicolor.
Really? He's not your light in an otherwise bleak world?
No. He's still like dark. He's like just like the new Superman.
Oh God!
Like, well, I mean, like, no, I just mean like the suit. The Superman suit used to be like like a bright blue and bright red, and now it's like more of a maroon cape.
Somebody went through and took Man of Steel and did color adjustment to give it bright colors.
No, really?
Does it look awkward? No, it looks great.
Oh wow!
Look, I don't think Man of Steel is a bad movie. Like assembly-wise, production-wise, film-wise. It's not a bad film. It's a fine film. Comic books are all about interpretations, We all have our writers that we love and hate on really old franchises like that.
Totally.
Anybody who goes like, this is Superman, you've clearly only read like one run your entire life, because there's not one Superman.
Right.
There's many, depending on who's telling the story. Just
Red Sun.
If that's yours, bro, you do you, killer. But for me, like, the Superman that I like, I actually like Boy Scout Superman because he plays against my Batman. Batman's willing to break the rules, where Superman's this, like, we go by the book. So for me, Man of Steel didn't work because I like Boy Scout Superman. I don't like this. It's not bad. It's not Superman. It's just not my Superman. That's why.
Right, it's not your version.
Yeah, I don't like this take on Superman. It's not for me.
Okay,
And I would
that's
say same
fair.
for Captain Planet. What you're describing, this is not my Captain Planet. My
Sure.
Captain Planet believes in 90s neon Technicolor.
All right.
If you're
all
not
right,
going to
fine.
gross them out with grossness, gross them out with your color palette.
Okay, well, I always do.
Yeah.
Among other things. But no, Captain Planet. I think Captain Planet could work as a gritty. There could be a gritty semi-horror version of Captain Planet. I think the world's ready for it. He does have a mullet, and that's scary in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself, like, is he a Republican who wants to save the world? My mind can't handle it. Okay, sorry. That's the only political thing I'll ever say.
Okay, whatever. Lastly,
and with a mullet. I'm just saying.
They don't exist.
No.
They don't exist. They might have back in when mullets were the thing.
In the 90s.
In the 90s, we had mullets. We had mullets. We
had
had mullets. And we thought it was so cool.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't. It was bad. Oh god, I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm gonna repress now. The last one I'm in this. Moving on. This one's the works. This one works probably the best. And this one, I'm sorry because it might be on your list. Gravity Falls.
I specifically did not.
Nice. Okay. Gravity Falls. If you haven't seen it, Devin introduced this to me last year, maybe 2 years ago, and it's amazing. No, 2 years ago.
What is
amazing.
fucking time right now?
It's time. Can we say that we just skipped over 2020?
Just, you know.
It doesn't like that.
The
was
last year was both like not really a whole year and like 45 years all crammed into one thing.
For sure. But Gravity Falls is about two kids that go to live with their uncle, their great uncle, their grunkle, if you will, and in this crazy what's that place in the Mystery Spot? It's like the Mystery Spot in Santa Cruz if you're familiar with it, like a tourist trap.
Falls is in Oregon.
Yes, it is. So they go to this place called Gravity Falls, and the boy of the two siblings quickly realizes that the woods are inhabited with all sorts of mysterious creatures. He finds this book that explains what all these creatures are, etc., etc., etc. It's very goofy, very zany, very quirky, a lot of fun, and surprisingly a really fun through line. Like it is episodical, but there is a main plot throughout the series, which is a lot of fun. And you pointed out
shockingly deep at points.
Very deep at points. And there are things like you miss, and then you find out later, like, oh, I need to go back and check. Oh my God, that's a thing. Like there's all these little clues and little fun things in it.
Stuff has been here the whole time. And
yeah. But yeah, like the idea of two kids living in the woods and finding all these creepy monsters and whatever else. And what's his name? Triangle Bill?
It's just Bill Cipher.
Bill Cipher. I don't know why. He's a triangle. That's Triangle Bill.
Good old Triangle Bill coming to
Everybody knows Triangle Bill. Was disturbing.
Yeah.
Like he would be a great horror. Like he is a horror villain, but he's more like zany and goofy and whatever else. But he does lean more heavily towards horror.
Yeah.
Even in the show, and I think you can lean into it even further and make it grotesque and obscene.
I will say
portals to other dimensions.
So Gravity Falls was almost on my list.
Why? Yeah. Why didn't you? You know what I'm saying. Do it.
Because I know exactly what it would be on the reboot. It is CW fodder. You'd age up the characters and put them in college, and they'd have all these phobias and maladies and issues, and they'd have problems, and it would be CW-fied, and it would become Teeny Bopper. And
no, you don't have to.
Because I don't want to see it.
You don't need to do that.
You don't have to. I'm just saying it would.
Like if they had but this is all imaginary. Like we're not putting it in their hands. We're telling our version of the story. Damn it! And you can make this like a lock and key kind of a show, man.
So you bring up one of the things that they nerfed and ruined.
I'm still getting into the comic book, but like it doesn't seem like they ruined. Like they watered it down a little bit.
Okay. Changing the intro scene of the comic absolutely fundamentally changes.
Sure.
The show is not bad. I like the show.
Sure.
It does not even hold a loose candle to the comic.
It doesn't. I understand, but I'm not saying that it didn't.
The impact is completely different.
It is. Of course, the impact is a little bit different, but they didn't ruin
No,
the
not
show
a
by
little.
leaving it
The
out.
focus is even on a different character who can deal with a more mature theme more easily for a audience who has no palate.
That's fine, but it didn't ruin the show. You lose some things that would have been nice to have included, but it didn't ruin the show because the show is still good. You just said the show is still good.
The
It's a
show is
solid
still a
show.
fun, watchable show. It's not Lock and
Yeah.
Key.
It's not the comic book. No.
It's not Lock and Key.
All right. All right. You're lucky you're in Oregon. I'll fight you. So that's my
I hope
list.
people can hear my glare.
Oh, everybody can hear your glare. Helen Keller can hear your glare.
I didn't even put the last one up. I'm angry now. No. Okay. Let's go through. All right, I'm gonna get my loosest one out of the way because I don't have a good specific pull for it.
Okay.
It's more just I know it can work because I've seen similar enough.
All right.
Hanna-Barbera is ready for a horror reboot.
Hanna-Barbera?
And I can prove it. When DC bought Hanna-Barbera and they produced those mature age comics they did, like Wacky Raceland. Did you check that out?
Yeah. No, I haven't, but you've told it to me enough. I feel like I've seen it.
Wacky Raceland is so good because it was like, do you remember the Wacky Races?
Yeah.
Well, this is dark.
Okay.
But
high stakes.
The cars are sentient and they want to work well with their drivers, but like they have conversations about how some of them are just tools used by their drivers while others feel like partnerships, and they actually have motivations in beating each other. The races are to the death, so when they're using these crazy things that they do, you can kill the other drivers in this race. And like, dude,
do they still use like Yogi Bear and Snaggletooth and?
You are not thinking of Wacky Races, sir. Wacky Races was a complete custom cast of characters.
Whoa!
You're thinking of the Cartoon Olympics, which is completely different.
No, Wacky Races was with Snidely Whiplash and
yes, Snidely Whiplash is but it's not Yogi Bear is not in it.
Okay, he might not be one of them, but like Snaggletooth was,
nope,
and
he is not.
Hold on, I'm looking up the cast right now.
I literally have it up.
Okay,
Wacky
who's on it?
Races 1967 TV series. The plot.
Yes.
Dick Dastardly, the Slag Brothers, Rock and Gravel, the Gruesome Twosome, Tiny Big Gruesome, and Bella Little Gruesome, Professor Pat Pending, the Red Max, Penelope Pitstop, Sergeant Blast and Private Meekly, the Ant Hill Mob, Lazy Luke, Peter Perfect, and Rufus Roughcut.
Whoa!
You were thinking of the it's not it's the something Olympics, the Laugh Olympics. You're thinking of Laugh Olympics.
I don't remember them doing anything other than racing though. It was always the wow.
So
I'm gonna have to go and figure this out. I don't want to take more time on this.
One of the things we have does do Laugh Olympics. I can't remember what it is, but it has there's a Scooby-Doo team, a Yogi Bear team, the Really Rottens that does have. Oh no, it doesn't have Dick Dastardly. No, it's Mumbly, Dread Baron, Dinky Dalton, Dirty Dalton, Dastardly Dalton, Mr. Creeply, Miss Creeply, Junior Creeply, Orthful Octopus, The Great Fondue, Magic Rabbit, Daisy Mayhem, and Suey.
I am so confused right now.
Your life
I have to
is a
go
lie.
and my whole life is a lie. My whole life I've been using this show, and I don't know what to do right now. I'm broken.
Up Hanna-Barbera does show a lot of Hanna-Barbera characters in a race car.
Yes.
Maybe there was, but that is 100% not
something different. Okay.
Wacky Races.
All right, I'll sort this out later, but please continue. How would you horrify this?
I think Wacky Raceland was a good step in, or Scooby-Doo Apocalypse. It's literally a modern take on Scooby-Doo
Yeah,
during the apocalypse. Like, Scooby-Doo is a science experiment, and Shaggy is just the kid they paid to take care of the dog, and then he ends
yeah.
up stealing it because they become friends. Velma's an activist who's working against the company, and Fred and Daphne are TV reporters who are following her around.
Okay. This is your idea, or this is something they've already done?
That's something they've already done. That's a
Oh, okay.
DC thing, but I'm like Hanna-Barbera. It's something that's just like Jabberjaw or Speed Buggy. There's Grape Ape. Oh, who's the Captain Caveman?
Man, yeah.
There's room somewhere in Hanna-Barbera. The Herculoids. There's room for horror. It exists in there, and I'm ready for it.
Okay. All right.
I'm ready for it.
I think the world's ready for it.
Yeah, I think it can happen. Okay, this one's gonna get really
The
specific,
Jetsons.
and this is my kind of cheat that I
Okay.
do on all of these. And I'm just gonna pull up a random image because there isn't a specific one that's gonna work. Here we go. Very specifically, I think we're ready for a Batman horror game. Now let me set this up
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
A game in which Batman is the villain. You are a criminal carrying out a crime, like a small time breaking into a house or something, or trying to hold some meeting, and Batman is the ever-present figure lurking in the shadows, waiting to take out you and your team while you carry out whatever job you're trying to do.
Kind of like a Five Nights at Freddy's, but
Yeah, but you do it like a 3 or 4 man co-op. And instead of floods of enemies, there's one redunk, overpowered enemy, and you're trying to carry out your heist while lurking in the shadows is the Batman and his many gadgets. And
that'd be good.
Based on whatever like villain you follow or something, you can have a perk to your character that can help keep you alive or ward the Batman away once or twice. But at the end of the day, I think there's room for
all for this.
Batman being the villain. Let's be scared of the Batman.
Like he's not the villain.
But
he's what
the
you're
fear. He's the danger.
He's the fear.
He's the ever lurking.
He
presence.
is the night.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, dude, that's a solid.
You could adapt this into a movie. It's a found footage thing. It's all these criminals trying to get famous on YouTube or something, and meanwhile, they are constantly stalked by the Batman.
That's good. That's really good.
Let's be scared of
Get my
Batman.
agent on the phone. Where's Drew Fishman?
Let's be scared of Batman again.
We should all be scared of Batman.
Yeah. All right.
What's up?
So I had one on my list that I thought was going to be on yours, then somehow you didn't do it, but I have one cartoon.
Okay.
I'm pulling it up now. Why does Google get weirdly specific on searches sometimes? You're like, generically this thing, and they're like, super specific this thing. No, Google. That's not what I wanted. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Billy and Mandy, yeah.
Now, because I can't see any of these cartoons not getting CW'd, this is the one I feel like you could, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Did you see the redo they did of that?
No, I have it on my queue, but I haven't gotten into it yet. But it looked interesting.
Season 1 is good. So with Billy and Mandy,
my biggest thing was I was like, oh, everything is Satan. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, because that's
the dumbest part of that show though. I watch it and I'm like, bro, I have Satanist friends. Stop doing this. But B, it's so dumb that they're all like, we worship Satan. Oh, but also he's scary and we don't want to meet him and none of us want to go to hell.
Right, like
and
why make them Satanists? Like, just make them witches.
Yeah, I did not get that angle, and it doesn't end up working. It remains weird.
That's why I haven't really delved into it yet, because it's like, why did we have to make them Satanists?
Yeah, it doesn't end up working, unfortunately. Yeah. That's a twist. They were like, this will be cool, and then it ended up being like, what?
Let's get away from this. Let's
let's distance ourselves.
All right.
Grim Adventures. I feel like you could the approach to it though.
Now I just have like Satan calling his agent. So do they have me for another episode this week? Not today, Satan.
Okay, but I have series regular status, right? I I think the Grim Adventures horror reboot leans a little more nihilist. Their best friend is death.
Yeah.
Yet he is impotent to their whim, and they are bound by the rules of magic and the goofy nature. I drink beer while I do this. Magic and then the nature of
As
the
Devin
underworld.
gradually turns into Rick. hey, Morty.
You're welcome. It's to my wife all the time.
Randomly belch mid-conversation.
It's more like a hiccup just takes me by surprise, and then a belch follows it immediately.
What was that?
But yeah, I feel like
that's good.
It's a very kind of depressing take, but it
would work.
Works. The more you think about it, they have this being of infinite power under their whim, yet they're just basically socially inept and uninterested,
right?
And bound by the ridiculous, like the underworld relies on ego and bureaucracy. So while they have the figure of life and death itself, yeah, it's really not that cool. There's a lot of bullshit that really comes with that, and it just becomes sad. That's sort of the tone of the whole show, is just very sad and dark.
I'd watch it.
Yeah,
I'd watch
so
it.
Would I. It's a feel-good family kind of affair. All right, I'm gonna get this one out of the way only because I've already told you about it, and I'm kind of like burying a lead, but I really want to work on this one because it works so well. Degrassi: The Next Generation.
Yes.
Is so primed and ready for a dark, gritty horror reboot.
And you're writing some kind of fan fiction type of a thing.
Yeah, I don't even know what to call it, but that's it's like a thing, but I have such a deep lore knowledge of this show that I can make this work as a sequel series that is completely canon. I break nothing. It all adds up and fits and flows perfectly and pulls on so much lore and comes to just obvious conclusion.
I know you've been a huge Degrassi fan for years. I've never seen a single episode.
Look, it's pretty typical teenage melodrama. I cannot explain to you why, like, this is the flavor of it that my brain just latched onto and was like, this is life. But it did. To the point, like, me and my wife are still watching through the whole series, and even she's like, this is fantastic. We just hit a point, we hit a lull in the show, and then at one point somebody whips out a guitar and smashes her baby daddy in the face with it out of nowhere, and we're like, this is why we watch this show! What were we thinking?
Oh, I don't know, man. You know what?
So good.
Our tastes kind of walk along a similar path, but there are times when with both of us, just that we pick something and we're like, I don't know why they like this. Degrassi, I don't get it. But you were into that. What was that other one? That other teen angst. It was an anime. Fooly-Cooly.
Fooly-Cooly is not teen angst. It is fucking art on paper, and it's so good. And
most art is on paper.
It recently just got 2 sequel series.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it fucking did.
Oh,
and the Pillows came back and did custom soundtracks for both seasons.
Okay, look, cool. That show had its audience of ravenous fans.
Of
case
which
in point,
this guy
belong.
Fooly-Cooly is so good.
I have tried to like that show.
You just
legitimately wanted to, and it is so bizarre.
You just don't get it.
I don't, not at all, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I don't get that show.
I feel like so. My wife is the same way. I even just had her rewatch, and she's like, "Maybe I just didn't have the appreciation." I'm like, "Look, you come into the show. The show is an expression of growing up. It is the
understand.
Feeling of growing up." And she watches it, and she's just like, "I don't know how the fuck you grew up, but my shit wasn't that shit. Fuck you." She doesn't get it, and I'm like, but this is all of it. It's everything. I don't like sour drinks.
Yeah, I'll stick with Big Mouth. That's my analogy for growing up, because it's a direct freaking analogy. You know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what my American mind can comprehend.
Either way, so specifically, honestly, I'm working on this. Like, expect this. This is happening.
Yes.
I'm working on a Degrassi sequel series that is a fully encapsulated slasher story. Like, straight up old school masked slasher loose in the high school. With plenty of twists and turns for hardcore fans.
Well, you let me know when that happens, and I want to read it.
It's going to be so good. You're going to have to watch at least the first 8 to 9 seasons of Degrassi.
Ah, another project. Jesus.
Okay, so my last one.
I love that reaction of yours.
You know, is there a thing I can get that has both? Okay, perfect. I found an image for both. Big enough. So this is kind of inspired by a random thing doing a horror movie. So Aquaman is getting a horror movie spinoff called The Trenches. If you remember the Aquaman movie, they go to that area where there's fucked up nightmare fish that assault them.
I was aware of this, that this was happening. I'm all for it. I'm here for it. And
somebody watched it and went like, that's fucked up, make that a movie. And if that's a thing, there are definitely people in that universe who've experienced that thing. That's a thing that has to happen now. And I feel like, honestly, this started as one pick, and probably not the one you'd think it'd be. This started as one pick, evolved into both, and it's very much based off of that idea. But boy, are Star Trek and Star Wars not overdue for a full-on horror series.
Stargate did it.
Stargate did it.
Stargate Universe was that equivalent. Like Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis were fun. They had some drama. But it was mostly high adventure type, shenanigans. Like all the aliens were human and they spoke English and whatever else for the most part. Stargate Universe was, okay, let's what would it actually be like if we ran into aliens in space? Oh, it would be nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
And
and let's
throw Robert Carlyle on
romp. Being in a place where literally you can't even understand the plants.
Right. And let's just toss Robert Carlyle on it just for good measure, because it wasn't scary enough.
So think about this in terms of Star Trek and Star Wars.
It's perfect.
Any group on some planet, some place, something where shit is bad. For once, the green ladies don't want to make out with you. They want to drink your bone marrow. Like, something fucking terrible.
Oh, it's about time Captain Kirk got that coming to him.
He got his marrow sucked out through his eyes. Some fucking thing.
That I almost put Star Trek on my list. And if DC can suddenly pull out, like, he has a horror series, how have Star Wars and Star Trek not considered doing a real, not even maybe a movie, but I really think you could do long format. I'll tell you why they didn't, and this is probably why Stargate Universe wasn't a success. I remember when I first started watching it, I had to go away. Like, I had to, I watched the first 2 episodes, and I was like, this isn't what I'm used to. I need to recoup. No, really, I was not okay. I was expecting another Stargate show, and that wasn't what I got. It was good. I eventually, once I got in stride,
once the callus built up a bit,
once I gained traction, I was picking up what they were putting down. I was on board with it. But it didn't last long. It lasted 2 seasons, a season and a half, something like that, and it was canceled. And but that, I think a lot of people felt what I was feeling, like, oh, this isn't what I'm used to. What have you done with my franchise? And
Where's my happy place?
Where's my happy place? Like, yeah, Stargate and Star Trek are, sorry, I'm using the term safe places, but they really are safe places for a lot of people. Like, that is a comfort zone. And I think
honestly, given my approach to a lot of the horror I've been writing, my whole goal is to remove your comfort zone.
Yeah, totally. You do that. They're really good, dude. That one you sent me the other day, it's solid, man.
Which one?
And I'm looking to see the next one. You
bathtub?
sent me the bathtub.
Yeah.
No, the toilet.
Oh.
Yeah. No, but what was it called? First Date.
Yeah, First Date.
First Date. Yeah, First Date was good, and I'm looking forward to seeing the tub.
Yeah, that one might actually go into production next.
Nice.
Might pass up Coyote.
That's a bummer, man. You've been getting some. We. Do you want to talk about this right here? Like, I mean, they don't know what we're talking about. Yeah, I don't know how much you want to say about it.
I mean, like, we can. It's a departure from what we were going to talk about, but we can.
Nah.
You sure?
Yeah, nah.
It is a thing.
It is a thing, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm ready to see, the finished products of everything.
Oh no, I mean the broader topic is a thing.
Well, that's true.
The do you explain?
We
can save it.
Yeah, let's save it because I don't want to ruin it for you. I don't like you're still working on this. Thing.
I can talk about the greater that part of the premise without ruining any of the comic. But again, we can't save it, but I'm saying I can do this without discussing the greater premise of the comic at all.
Okay. Well, no, that's fine. And in fact, you're breaking up again. So
I'm getting a delay again.
You're getting a delay again? Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever.
It might be slowly correcting itself, though. I think you're reacting fairly quick. Yeah.
No. What were we going to talk about?
Wait to prove that it's working better by not making noise and instead doing a physical action that people can't hear. Great.
Yeah, right.
This is a conversation.
People are watching. Some people are watching. Nobody's watching.
Some people are watching.
Are some people watching?
No.
Oh, damn it.
It says there's one person, but that might just be me.
That could just be you.
It is. It's just me.
Well, catch us next week on Bias Bros, where we'll have two people, Devin and Jay.
Where we'll commit seppuku. We're sorry for failing you.
I won't be doing that. Well, I'll say that I'll do it, but then I'll let you do it first, and then I'll check it out.
That's fair.
Yeah, there you go. What were we going to talk about, Devin? Because I don't know. I forgot. Well, let's talk about those marshmallow peeps, huh?
Oh, my God. Stop making me relive it.
So he mentioned when we talk about, like, what were we going to talk about this week? And Devin's like, well, we can talk about Pepsi's new Peep-flavored soda. I had seen these things online on Facebook, scrolling through social media, what have you. I thought it was a joke. I didn't know that it was actually happening.
Is it like it's 100%? This is a thing?
Like I don't know. I just took your word for it. But yeah, like there's this thing floating around about Peep flavored soda.
Yeah. Oh God, it looks like we're playing an advertisement right now because I found a GIF.
Yeah, no, this they are making this.
Fucking gross. I'm sorry, this is gross.
Peep flavored Peeps are bad enough.
And I didn't know this was a thing, but when I worked at CVS, there was this girl who used to come in on the grave shift to buy her Peeps, and she swore by cutting them open and eating them stale. And I was like, that's the fucking nastiest shit I've ever heard. Apparently this is a thing. Stale Peeps is a legit, trend.
All right. Hey, whatever you're into, man.
I don't get it.
I don't get Peeps. I never understood it.
I don't even my wife hates marshmallows, so I get why she hates Peeps.
No, I like
Peeps
marshmallows.
Are gross, and I like marshmallow.
I hate that gritty, grainy sugar coating that's on the marshmallows. Marshmallows are fine. There's nothing wrong with the marshmallow. I mean, if you don't like them, whatever. But the texture is nar sauce, man.
I don't know why we're talking about that.
I just like sticking them in the microwave and killing them. That's the only thing I want to do with Peeps.
Yeah. There you go. That's healthy.
Sure. You take out my aggression on something. It might as well be marshmallows.
I can just see you all angry, like, yeah, you cook in the microwave. Get all fat. Pop. Peeps.
That's how I deal with my angst.
I want to see that sad ass montage in a movie. Is the kid just gets bullied at school and he goes home and he microwaves Peeps and just really gets off on it.
like gets off on it.
Hey, you take it as far as you need, champ.
Well, I don't think we need to. This is live. We don't need to take this any further than it.
Can we talk about anything else so I can have a different graphic that doesn't look like we're advertising fucking Pepsi right now?
But hey, if they want to pay us, I'll be glad to advertise Pepsi.
Yeah, if they want to pay us, I'll
really
drink the fuck out of Marshmallow Peep Pepsi. That's
I am
the
really
best shit I
excited
ever
about
tasted.
yellow Peep flavored Pepsi.
What up with fucking Twizzler Mountain Dew? Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Actually, no. I guess we're supposed to be aiming for horrible. Let's get some Ferrero Rocher Mountain Dew. It's the fucking hazelnut balls.
Yeah. I'm trying to wrap my head. No, actually, Ferrero Rocher Mountain Dew sounds terrible, but Ferrero Rocher Cola, that could work, man.
Stop
yeah,
it.
hazelnut in a cola.
I like the Ferrero Rocher, but I fucking hate Nutella.
Oh, do you?
That shit's gross.
Oh, I love it, man.
It tastes like sticks and dirt.
Sticks and dirt is delicious.
You ever like tripped and fallen while camping and just got like shit in your mouth? That's what Nutella tastes like.
No, that's never happened to me.
You've never... Okay.
I've never had shit in my mouth.
Not shit, but like shit. Come on, it's the 21st century. Get your shit together. And by get your shit together, they don't mean your shit.
Oh, okay. I'm glad that this is all being clarified.
Yeah. Get your shit together. I did watch. I'm just going to pull up a thing. I'm going to talk about it.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Holliston.
Yes. You were telling me about the show.
Okay, so I guess like the first thing you need to do... Is that a bigger image?
Do I need?
You need. First thing, reoccurring characters in the show, Dee Snider and Odorous Urungus of Gwar.
Oh, right. Yeah,
are like regular characters, though Dee Snider plays a character and Odorous plays Odorous.
Yeah, totally.
The show kind of weirdly walked this line that I kind of needed right now.
Okay.
It is
Which was?
romance comedy horror sitcom.
That has Odorous, that has Gwar written all over it.
Yeah. So the show is pseudo autobiographical, but it's about these two dudes who are trying to become horror filmmakers, and it's just sort of about their life living together, trying to make a horror movie, working at it like a cable access channel. Dee Snider plays their boss, who's like stuck into 80s hair metal so deep it's become a character flaw.
Perfect.
Odorous is his imaginary friend who lives in his closet and gives him life advice.
It's his hormone monster.
Basically. And then, there's the roommate and his girlfriend, and then the girl he used to date who just moved back to town. And it's really a bunch of sitcom-y stuff done with horror bits, or horror stuff done with sitcom-y bits.
Okay. What's this called again?
Holliston
on Shudder.
Named after Holliston, Massachusetts, where he grew up.
Okay. All right. I'm all for this.
The guy who made the show apparently went on to do the Hatchet series. So if you're familiar with that horror series, he does, it's Hatchet 1, 2, 3, and then Victor Crowley is the fourth installment about the guy who becomes Hatchet.
Gotcha.
And a lot of the people who did the Hatchet movies do cameos in this. It's got Tony Todd. It's got Kane. Oh, what is his last name?
It played Jason.
Yes, played Jay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hodder? Kane.
Yeah,
I want to say
right.
Kane Hodder.
Kane Hodder sounds right.
It's got the girl who played. She's Michael Myers' younger sister or something, and they actually set her up to be the next Michael Myers, and they never did it. But she's a little girl in the clown suit. Really, what's funny is I was watching it, and I'm like, "Fuck, I know this girl," and they keep saying she's in Halloween, but I definitely never saw that Halloween movie. Where do I know her from? She did a stint in Boy Meets World as TK and dated Corey Matthews, and of course
really?
I'm familiar as fuck with Boy Meets World, and I know her as TK from Boy Meets World.
I'm sorry, you reminded me of a story. Can I tell a Kane Hodder story?
Oh, please.
Yeah. So Kane Hodder was at Crypticon the year before I started going. But some buddies of mine, my friends that I go with, they got to meet him, and they said he was like the nicest freaking dude.
He is supposed to, and what's funny is
nice.
in this, he plays a suicidal asshole who is still bitter about being recast in Freddy vs. Jason, and anytime anybody brings him up, he tries to kill himself. And other than that, he's just emotionally devoid, super asshole who just wants to beat people up or spoon with dudes because he needs to feel masculine.
Oh, that's funny. Well, anyway, so they're hanging out at the VIP lounge, right? And Kane Hodder shows up, and they were talking to they were schmoozing with some other, B horror star. I don't remember who it was. And Kane Hodder shows up, and like they're chit chatting, whatever else. And they're like, "Hey, Kane, can we take a picture with you?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure, whatever." And he comes up and he gets around my buddy John, and he does it like that's his go-to pose with fans is like to chokehold him, the headlock and the chokehold. But like he's actually choking John, and he's like John's like, this is funny, he's really choking me and whatever else. But then like they got distracted with the camera and they didn't like do it right away, and they're talking to somebody else, but Kane doesn't let go, and John is like, hey, this is a lot of fun, but
I'm actually dying.
I'm actually dying right now.
No.
But he was a nice guy.
Yeah. No, and so he's in the Hatchet films, and actually I was reading a little bit about him because I noticed his scars. I didn't realize that like all that was very real.
Yeah.
But was doing some research on him, and apparently his favorite Jason moment is my favorite Jason moment. It's the bit in Jason X where he's beating the two girls in the sleeping bag against each other. That was apparently his favorite until a scene from Hatchet that he did.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, that scene is definitely in my top.
Hysterical. Yeah, I don't know. Holliston,
bloody marvelous.
It's such a fun look, it is cheesy. And it's meant to be cheesy. Like they break the fourth wall all the time on purpose.
Yes.
But it felt like this great walk between horror and other things that I needed, because I've actually just been so engrossed in horror lately that it's legit making me paranoid in real life. Like, totally. I'm having a little bit of trouble sleeping because my brain is just running through horrible scenarios of what could happen to try and channel that into story fuel. Like, it's just that's my world right now, is horrible shit. So this was this really great
sidestep
segue into like, okay, I think I can prepare my brain to like enjoy a sitcom or something right now and kind of tone down the horror and like,
but still keep one foot in the horror world.
Right. Yeah. The show was a lot of fun. Apparently there was a lot of rumor about a season 3 happening, and it didn't end up happening, though now it's gaining this really small resurgence where people are calling for it again. I'm really hoping the name of it can get out there a little bit more now that it's on Shudder, and they can eke out a 3rd season or a new deal for something else, but it's a lot of fun. I really think there's a lot of room. It felt like a harken back to the Munsters or the Addams Family. A spooky sitcom. That's really what they were. And obviously this is a modern spooky sitcom. But that's what that is at its heart. This is just a modern Addams Family. It's spooky shit happening around goofy shit.
I like it. And since we brought this up, can we segue into Rob Zombie picking up the Munsters?
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
Confirmed?
I think so. It's definitely gotten a huge amount of buzz.
Okay.
I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but it sounds like he wants to do it. A lot of people want to do it.
Rob Zombie reportedly attached to a Munsters movie. Yeah.
There you go. I am all for it.
Yeah. They tried it once. They did it a little bit more as a drama, which I don't think was the right turn.
Was this the one with Jerry O'Connell as Herman?
Right.
I didn't see it, but through the grapevine, it was like a 1 episode kind of a thing. It was like I don't know if it was a mini series.
They were hoping to spawn a series, and it didn't happen.
It didn't work out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do want to check it out just to see, because I love Jerry O'Connell and I love the Munsters, and I'd kind of like to see what they did with it. But like they didn't he was just kind of like Jerry O'Connell. Like he wasn't a monster. He was just Jerry O'Connell with a few stitches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then that's based on like the very few, press photos that I saw.
Sure.
and still shots and whatever else. Like, it didn't look all that appealing, but you know, like I said, I like him. I like the franchise. I'll give it a shot if I ever get the opportunity.
Yeah. No, this I would be a lot
news.
more in for. And again, like
Totally.
I'm kind of feeling this mojo. I feel like there's room for it right now. I
Totally.
really feel like there's space. Horror, dude, I keep telling people, horror's coming back. You're gonna see another little like 1980s slasher boom of horror stuff, where horror, like Haunting of Hill House, Lock and Key, the American Horror Story. There's a few horror anthology series happening right now. There's absolutely room for a horror sitcom. Like, if I had a good idea, believe me, I'd be striking on that iron right now, because I think that's an idea that could really do something.
What if the Munsters project that Rob Zombie works on has like the El Super Bisto tone to it?
Oh, that could get really twisted and fun.
That could be really twisted and fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, like a Munsters franchise, you couldn't go full Super Bisto.
No,
because that was just gratuitous and vulgar.
Too much. You'd have to pull
too much
back a bit.
Back quite a bit, but you can still have that same kind of sense of humor.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it could work. I really think you try out Holliston if you get the chance. It's a lot of fun, and it walks this really interesting tone that I feel like it's like if Troma made a sitcom. You know, it can work. It has room.
Did you see?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna throw this out really quick. But did you see the Blockbuster documentary on Netflix?
I saw it existed, but I haven't watched it yet.
Watch it. Lloyd Kaufman is in there for like exactly 42 seconds.
Sounds right.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say why. Watch the whole thing because it's a fun watch just to see kind of like the background of what happened to Blockbuster. But they do get a lot of celebrities to talk about, like, oh, I used to work there. Oh, I used to go there all the time. Blah blah blah, whatever else. But yeah, Lloyd Kaufman shares his 42 seconds worth, and it's
Lloyd Kaufman.
It's Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah, it sounds about
which is awesome. Yeah.
All right, right about that time.
All right.
Play us out slowly because I have to pee super bad. So I'm going to go while you play us out, and then I'm going to come back.
Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. This has been Bias Bros. Okay, he's gone. I'm not really going to do that the entire time because that's just obnoxious. Like, I'm having a hard time just hearing myself do it, and I can't imagine how you feel. So for that, 7 seconds, I humbly, deeply, sincerely apologize. But this has been Bias Bros. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Jay. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Jay Barker's Voice. You can also find me online, www.jbarkersvoice.com. And, since Devin's not quite back yet, you can also find me on TikTok because I'm a geek. It's 6079 J Bizzle because I'm a geek. And he's not quite back yet. So how you doing? Is everything all right? Yeah? People treating you fairly? Is the job okay? Yeah? They treating you all right? Yeah? What'd you have for dinner last night? Oh, that sounds awesome. Did you save me some? Yeah. I bet you didn't. Yeah. Oh, wait, okay. No, he's coming back. Okay, stop talking about him. Stop talking about him. Hey, how was your pee?
Yeah, I don't trust none of this. You can see me on the 5D podcast Mondays, 7 o'clock, 5dpodcast.com, twitch.tv/metagame network, youtube.com, youtube.tv. What is YouTube these days? YouTube.whatever/5D podcast.
Yeah. Good job, buddy.
Podcast? Whatever. That's it.
Bye.
Bye.
We were talking.